Week 1.
Okay, here we are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our every Saturday 10 a.m. Eastern Time to our Unlimited Network Mastermind. Today is June 4th, 2016, and here we are every Saturday together. I love just the perseverance, the little drop, every week that brings me back to track, to really practice, I will say, this, what I want to call prosperity consciousness at the end, in all aspects of our life, of course. But I want to acknowledge, all of us entrepreneurs here, because it's really that kicks in, asking you to want more, and then to come inside this path, of desires and wanting and attachment, and we are like, okay, so we chose to really manifest, I would say, to express the easy of life, the prosperity in all the aspects. And right now, we are working with the Abundance book with Lawrence Crane, and today we are going to dive into the chapter 13, that is using the technique to improve your health. And something that I want to share with all of us here is amazing, because I really jumped into this prosperity consciousness like 5 years ago, something like that, with the call for financial freedom, like, okay, and I didn't have the idea of how to imagine what financial freedom was. So I'm very happy that, through these years, I start to open up my mind and to really see, wow, and to start to listen to people that express what financial, that's, for me. And I know that we, all of us, individually, I think we have success means, different things for every one of us. So it's not the same financial freedom for me that maybe for you. But I can see that the entrepreneur, the one that is, is really having the courage to come to a new level, of responsibility and conscious creation, I will say, especially today, with a heart, and to really wake up through this path. That for sure is my passion, and it's incredible. I mean, I'm working with this book right now. I don't know, chapter 14, imagine, or maybe 4 months, 3 months or something like that. We're already with this book. And the release technique is something that is bringing me back constantly, I would say. I love it. Always, very committed to awakening, enlightenment, to really be who I truly am, and, meditation and this and that. But with the release technique, I notice, that is all the time. It's all the time, I'm always aware, or, I mean, more and more aware, let's say, conscious to any, in my body, my thoughts, my mind, like my sensations. And it's amazing that I have this simple, powerful tool, technique, possibility to let all that go, to release and release and release. And it's like, okay, so the sensation that I feel lately is like everything is okay. I'm just here to release more and more, because who I am, I already am. And it's a matter of, for us to be willing to detach and to let go who we think we are. And it is a journey, okay? So I just want to acknowledge all of us that we are here, because we are walking the path, and it's not something that, suddenly, like, no, the joy of becoming aware of something and detect inside yourself, is this, can I let that go? Just whatever, judgment, interpretation of life, sensation in my gut. Like the other day I had I will not say big fight, but I mean like an encounter, with Arne. Like suddenly, something was really, like burning inside. I was unhappy, and, I start to come out, with my demands, let's say, what I needed, but I didn't come out with an energy that allow it in. I really come out with the demand, with the need of, now that we study this book, of approval again and again. Is amazing, So I love it. Instead of, beating up myself, what I'm learning lately is, okay, this is what is here. Beautiful. I can open the window and I let that need of approval go. Doesn't mean that I cannot talk about the topic with Arne, that we did beautifully several hours later, that I was much more centered and much more, connected with Monica and with feeling good inside, So I want to share that, because the book in the beginning was like, like technique, blah, blah. but I love it, and I hope you can really get the juice of it to practice it, to really do it, because one thing is to read and another is to become, this release technique, and I'm becoming, more and more, like, oops, opportunity to let go in me, and sometimes in others, that I see the other person, interpreted from my side as a negative, or oh, here we are again, and immediately, okay, come back, center, what is going on here. I'm willing to let that go, that perception, that interpretation. Lately, that I'm realizing is I have a lot of addiction, let's say, or habit, to push away. For me, it's very easy to reject, like separated, and I do everything by myself, like I become alone, and then I suffer from loneliness. What a strategy from the ego. I mean, I love to see it and to let it go, So I just wanted to share with you this practice that we are doing here, minimum my experience, and to share with you also the excitement of jumping today in this chapter that is about health. And I don't know if you remember, but we were working with Abraham Hicks. Gosh, the book of Money and the Law of Attraction, I mean, a third of the book was money energy. The rest was all about well-being, feeling good and, have a good vibration and blah, blah. So I think we are all, like going through the same direction here, supporting each other to allow this well-being that we already are to embody, to shine through us, and to have the courage to let go of the rest. It is a journey, okay? So welcome again, and let's see if Doc Frank is ready. Inspiring us here to deepen and deepen into this technique. Welcome, Doc Frank.
Good morning. Can you hear me all right? Excellent. Well, thanks, Monica. What a pleasure, as always, to be here. Good morning, Candace. You're looking lovely as well. This is kind of fun. Every Saturday morning I get to hang out with these good-looking women. I don't know why I smile all the time, So anyway, it's interesting. I once heard a definition of enlightenment as a journey of many miles to arrive at a place you never left. So it took me a while to understand that, and but it's really true. And I loved your explanation or your description of your demands, and it brings to mind a definition I heard of the difference between a request and a demand. And the difference between a request and a demand is known solely by your reaction to no when you don't have your demand granted. So at any rate, it's just a little aside there this morning. You guys are always stimulating me to remember stuff. Go ahead, Arnie.
Yeah. I don't think that's a small thing you just said. You just opened a can of worms. You hear me very cut? Can you hear me now? Anyway, the difference between what you said of if you demand or request, and that is, if we could find that key, that would solve almost every problem. Because personally, I'm a reactive person, so when somebody demands something of me, it's like, forget it. I'm not even going to consider it. But if you request, of course, I'm all for it. So it's and it's me as a receiver of that is on the feeling level, and it comes with need, it comes with attack, it comes with suppression, and no, I'm not going to be suppressed. No, go away. So I think I can learn right there. Thank you.
I'm glad that I could be of service. Are we getting any echo back on my voice? Okay, good. Well, this book has been just an amazing journey for us, and we just finished the last 3 Saturdays working on releasing any attachment to disapproving of self and releasing any aversion to disapproving of self. And I have to tell you, you know, I am a classic example of a person who berates himself on a far too frequent basis. And it occurred to me as I was sitting here this morning that I literally went through an entire week this week without berating myself. And the most telling one is you know, the big things don't bother me. It's so funny, and I'm sure that many people on the call have the same sensation. You can deal with the big challenges. It's the little aggravating, crappy little things that happen all the time that drive you crazy, and then finally, you know, you lose your cool over them. Well, my Achilles heel is traffic. You know, I always seem to have this this amazing traction beam that can pull in the slowest, dumbest, aggravating driver in the county that's always right in front of me when I'm trying to get somewhere. And of course, I'm always, you know, in a perceived hurry to get somewhere. So I noticed that this week, even driving, I never got upset. I mean, it was really, I found myself riding 20 miles an hour behind this idiot in front of me, and I wasn't even upset about it. and I went, you know what, if I don't get anything else out of this book, that was worth the price of admission. So, you know, I'm having an awfully good time with this, and I hope that you are as well. And so we're going to move on now, and this is another area where a great many people can use help in understanding that somatics, or body aches, pains, illness, disease, whatever, has postulated and has a great basis in fact in a reflection of what's going on within us on a spiritual level. And you know, it's named disease, which is the absence of ease. And when everything's healthy and wonderful and you feel great, you're not in any sensation of dis-ease. So it really made a lot of sense to me. I learned that, you know, years ago, very early in my career as a clinician. And so part of, I think, the secret is, and Arnie I know knows this because he's an expert healer as well, is that we get inspiration from Source or God that is the source of all healing and health. And we're simply terminals in point and space that allow that, quote, miracle to happen. And I had another miracle this week, and I'm watching it unfold. It actually started 2 weeks ago, and then I'll get into the chapter. I'm sorry, I'm really inspired here this morning. But a very, very dear man, a friend of mine named Paul Lashivo, was riding home from work on his motorcycle and got hit broadside by an SUV. And it was a miracle, number one, that he survived the collision. But he was in serious critical, you know, condition. He was airlifted down to the trauma center, etc. And he wasn't expected to live. And for the last 10 years, I've been using a free service called Silent Unity. And it is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week prayer service where it doesn't matter if you call up at 4 o'clock in the morning, a live person answers and says, how can we pray with you? And you can pray for any intention that you want. They offer a prayer. And then it goes into a continuous prayer for that intention for 30 days, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This service has been going on since the early 1900s. And it's an amazing, amazing service. So I immediately called up and prayed for the return of optimal health to Paul. And literally within 12 hours, his condition improved to the point where he was taken off a critical list and put on stable. And he's still in a medically induced coma. He's still in the hospital, but he's continually improving. And so then, after a week of this, I called, and it's 1-800-NOW-PRAY, NOWPRAY. And I urge anybody, if you ever have any intention that needs prayerful intervention, to take advantage of this. It's a very fulfilling action. So I sent in a prayer of gratitude for granting us a positive response to our first petition. And many people overlook that part. You know, I mean, we're learning all the time about the power of gratitude in our lives. And so, you know, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the forum that we have here and that you guys grant me to, you know, tell people a little bit about my philosophy and my understanding and my experiences in life. So with that, let's get on to our chapter for the day. Chapter 13, using the technique to improve your health. Desire is the cause of everything. Anytime you have a problem, there's desire behind it. Lester Levinson. Health and your well-being. We've already touched upon important areas relating to your overall well-being, but now we will focus more on inner emotional stress that cause illness, or what is commonly known as stress. The purpose of health and wealth, after all, is merely because we presume, and to some extent it is true, that they result in happiness. Happiness can be experienced directly. However, and on this level, it is totally independent of health or wealth. Let us take the situation of the average person and look at it objectively. To begin with, whatever happiness he or she thinks they have is extremely vulnerable. A chance remark, a critical comment, a lifted eyebrow, a car cutting into line ahead. No. I didn't read that in advance, I promise. You mean there's somebody else? Oh my God. All these are sufficient to blow the average person's happiness in an instant. The threat of a job loss, a feeling of threat to a relationship, a negative remark from a doctor, an impertinent cab driver, all are sufficient to blow most people's cool. Every time we suppress this energy, which is smaller than a photon particle, this negative energy stores up over the years and begins to press against the organs of the body, causing it to malfunction. As a result of negative feelings, thoughts, and attitudes, as well as constant judgment and criticism of other people, the average person stores up this stress energy without realizing it. This energy causes the body to malfunction. Releasing this energy allows the body to heal itself, sometimes within moments. Read Miracles. Graduates of the Abundance Course report to us that they have released and cured allergies, asthma, arthritis, heart problems, back pain, limb pain, cancer, common colds, flu, hepatitis, epilepsy, AIDS, brain damage, and more. When our body hurts, we all start to figure out how to get rid of this dis-ease. By figuring it out, we unconsciously hold on to the very thing that we are looking to get rid of. We are trying different cures, practitioners, pills, and modalities without much improvement. That is because we need to get rid of internal disease. When we do, by directly releasing on them, the dis-ease appears. Doctors know that a peaceful and positive mind is the best doctor of all. It can cure and fix anything in the body. Furthermore, releasing can be instrumental in healing others. One of the graduates wrote to us, 2 weeks ago our son cracked up at college and we had to pick him up. I called you and you said, there is no such thing as mental illness. Can you just let it go and let him be normal, healthy, and whole with ease? I really latched on to the statement, with ease, and repeatedly said it in my mind, even when the psychiatrist told us 2 days later that he was mentally ill, paranoid schizophrenic, and would always need to be on medication, of course. I did not give him the medication. I did take him to a homeopathic doctor that I knew and trusted. Within 2 days, he was beginning to act normal, and now, 2 weeks later, he is fine. Here's what some of the leading scientists and medical practitioners who have studied the release technique have to say about its effectiveness. I had several physical ailments, including migraine headaches, diverticulitis, gout, and severe hypoglycemia. The week after taking the course, I was scheduled for surgery. But within a few days after beginning to release, the surgical condition disappeared and never reappeared. My other physical problems cleared up. I believe these good effects are due to the stress reduction brought about by using this method. Dr. David Hawkins, Medical Director of the North Nassau Mental Health Center, Manhasset, New York. Interesting. In my experience, the release technique is simply the most effective way of reducing stress on both a personal and professional level. It constitutes a dramatic advance in the field of health and wellness. Christopher Pruitt, MD, American Wellness Consultants. I consider the release technique to be the best contribution to preventive medicine that I've seen in my 25 years of interest in the field. I'm amazed at the simplicity of the training and its effectiveness. John Kameny, MD, Columbia University Medical School. The release technique is different from anything I've ever done before. It works on a feeling level and allows people to eliminate negative emotions and thoughts. The release technique is so fast and effective because it goes directly to the heart of the problem. It's a shortcut for everyone who uses it. Elliot Groomer, MD, Good Samaritan Hospital in Phoenix, Arizona. I have looked into other methods of stress management before finding the release technique, but I have not discovered anything else so simple, powerful, and rapidly effective. The most appealing features of the method for me are the absence of an imposed belief system and the fact that people can use it completely on their own with great success. Louis Ormont, PhD, Psych Department at Delphi University. Scientific studies. Researchers David McClellan of Harvard University Medical School and Richard Davidson of the State University of New York have found that the release technique stands out far beyond the rest for simplicity, efficiency, absence of questionable concepts, and rapidity of observable results. These studies also reveal that individuals using the release technique show significant reduction in heart rate and diastolic blood pressure. With respect to short-term versus long-term gain, the overall findings suggest that it is effective in promoting and maintaining stress reduction months after the training. If you have a... go ahead, Ronnie.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I don't know if it's a good place to cut in there. I've been a healer for over 30 years, and I've had tremendous results. But some years ago, people got healing, but then the diseases came back. And I got a little frustrated on that. And I always saw, not always, but I learned that all disease came from stress. Stress is really the cause. And stress is the opinion about a particular situation, like I'm doing exercise or I'm playing. I like my job or I don't like my job. But it's the same job. It's just the attitude. And I find it very useful to explain it. We hear it releases stress. I'm breaking up, okay. But we release the stress. But if we can really get a handle on what is stress, it's the concept. But to me, it's not a concept. It is very physical. When we get stressed, we tighten up just a little bit in the core, in our body, in our tissue. And that tightening up stops the flow of blood, lymph, and energy in the body, and then causes the diseases. So doing healing without doing the release technique is just a temporary result. So I'm really happy here with the release technique, because each individual goes in and releases the cause of the stress. So not only does the symptom go away, but also the the cause of it, so it doesn't come back. So that's I hope that helps a little bit to get it. That is, it's not just somebody tells us, oh, it's stress. No, no. Stress actually has a physical component, and that is tightening up of tissue, which causes disease. Organs cannot function if there is no space for the organs to function. So relaxing the tissue is what brings the health back again, which we do it internally, which is the cause of the problem. The cause of the problem is internal. We have an attitude, and by the release technique, we change the attitude. So I'm very happy with that. I hope you could hear me.
Yeah, you were broken up a little bit. Monica, your microphone is open all the time, so I don't know whether that would affect. Arnie, I think it has something to do with your headset, personally, or the connection, where you're plugged into your computer. So, but we could understand everything that you said, and it was spot on, actually. You know, I mean, that's, and it's true. I mean, you know, we all need a certain level of stress to be healthy, actually. The total absence of stress leads to body dysfunction almost with the same rapidity as excessive stress does. So there's two states of it called eustress, E-U-S-T-R-E-S-S, which is necessary, good, healthy stress, and distress, which is just like dis-ease. It's the absence or dysfunctional stress. So, but thanks for that, you know, and it's true. And a calming manner and a presence and just being a center of stability in a turmoil can go a long way to what's called disinterbulate everybody around you. And that's a purely spiritual phenomenon. It's literally a form of, I'd like to say mental telepathy, but it's not. It's actually spiritual telepathy. So people just think you're mental when you do it. God, I get so stressed thinking of that. All right, here we go. If you have a deficiency in your body, I suggest you try releasing on it. Releasing certainly will not hurt you in any way, and of course, if you can't release on it, you can always consult with a medical practitioner. When your body hurts, we start disapproving or beating up that part of the body, sending negative energy to the very part of the body we want to send positive energy to. Start reversing this habit by noticing the disapproving energy contained in your stomach or chest and putting that, I'm not going to say imaginary tube anymore, putting that imaginary window into the unwanted energy and releasing it. Then proceed to send that pain that is hurting or deficient positive energy by giving it approval. Some might say, you want me to give my body approval? It hurts, I'm in pain. But ask yourself, whose body is it that hurts? That will help you discriminate that it is your body, not some ethereal body outside yourself. It is your body or your pain. Release it and give it approval. If you do that continually, your body will naturally correct itself. The following releasing exercises will help you normalize your body and rid itself of the blockages which cause the discomfort. If you have a part of your body that isn't working properly, or you have pain or an uncomfortable feeling about it, check and see if you've been trying to figure out how to get rid of this, holding it in your mind. Could you let go of figuring out how to get rid of it? You might as well. You haven't been able to get rid of it anyway. And could you let go of some more and more? Could you let go of wanting to know what to do about it and more and more? Could you let go of wanting to know the answer and more and more? Could you let go of clutching about it? Notice there's a clutching feeling in your feeling center, your stomach or your chest, and more and more. Could you let go of resisting it, the energy in your stomach, and more and more? Now, see if you've been disapproving of this disease or discomfort in you. By disapproving of it, you are sending negative energy to a place that is already a pocket of negative energy, and you're only making the situation worse. Could you let go of disapproving of it and more and more? So, could you give it some approval? By sending it positive energy, you allow the body to heal itself. Pain is like a doorbell ringing, saying, "Please fix me." Your body is telling you to fix it. You cannot fix it by sending your body negative energy. By doing this, you're only stopping the body from healing itself. So could you give your body some approval just because it's the smart thing to do, and more and more? Now, keep looking for your disapproving of this dis-ease. Every time you catch yourself beating your body up, let go. Then practice giving it approval. If you continually do this, the dis-ease will disappear. Now, let's do a releasing exercise on wellness. Then go on and do an attachment and aversion to health or that disease of a problem with your health exercise. You will find a releasing stuckness chart that will be very helpful in eliminating the stuckness about your health subject or any subject that you want to work on. Interesting. What do you think is stuck there, folks? What have we talked about in the past that gets stuck on something that disturbs us? And of course, I'm talking about our attention units. So, isn't it interesting? This nagging pain in my back, which has been going on now for, I guess, 4 years since I first became consciously aware of it. I am very excited to do this exercise today and see what we can accomplish with that. I'm tired of having my attention units stuck on it. What is my now feeling about wellness? Instructions. Write down your now feelings about each topic. I mean, how you feel about it right now, this minute. Taking one topic at a time. Then trace that now feeling to either apathy, grief, fear, lust, anger, courageousness, acceptance, and peace. Then see it as, no, I think that's a typo. It's supposed to be then see it as a wanting of approval, control, or security, and let it go to completion. Once you have released the feeling completely, check the let go question mark column. Once you have let it go, look back and see what the next feeling is about the topic. Do this until you feel at least courageousness about this topic. Then repeat the process with the next topic. All right, so they have an example here. What is my now feeling about the condition of health? And we wrote down, I need to take better care of my body in terms of diet and exercise. Fear. What is my now feeling about my physical health? I should lose 10 pounds. Lust. What is my now feeling about exercise? I need to work out more often. Pride. Let go. Did I completely let it go? All right. So, what is my now feeling about wellness? Let's take a few minutes in silence and pencil this in and see where we go from here.
Can you do the list again?
I'm sorry?
Can you do the list, the long list there, apathy?
Oh, yeah. I guess we go back to that because we're, I guess we're supposed to figure, you just go through. It's actually kind of a long technique here. Write down, choose a topic.
It was, yeah, those were just examples. They were not suggestions.
Yeah, no, these were right out of the book, the ones that I used, and trace the now feeling to either apathy, grief, fear, lust, anger, or courageousness. So I guess what we have to do is let's write something. What is the now feeling about the condition of health? And then go back to, let me find the page. It is page 42 and 43 that has the chart of imperturbability. So, okay. I'm going radio silent.
Okay, so focus on what is my now feeling about the condition of health? Simple and clear here. Just be genuine, you know. What is my now feeling about the condition of health? And write that down. What is my now feeling about the condition of health?
All right, what you do here, you write down your now feeling about the condition of health. Then you flip to page 42, 43, and you start reading from worthless up the list until you have you'll when you hit an item that is appropriate to you, you will feel a reaction to that. You'll have a feeling in your body, and you'll know that that is the emotion that you have about your now condition of health. And so circle that and then write it after the column here. So this is kind of fun. All right, I'll be back. All right, who's got an insight to share or what to tell us their the result on the first column here?
Okay, I can explore with you this.
I don't hear you yet.
Can you hear me? Okay. So, what is my now feeling about the condition of health? And what I see here, what I sensed inside was a little fearful, like I'm doing something wrong, like not enough, and then I added not enough conscious, like not enough, whatever, you know, like so at the end I went to the column here, page 42, 43, and I associated with just fear, you know, like this sensation of insecurity or whatever. And could I let go? It's so funny because I opened the window, you know, and okay, let go all these, you know, letting go, and was a joyful opening the window. So that's what I discovered so far. Anyone else? No. Can you hear me, Dr. Frank?
Yes.
I can hear you, Monica.
I heard you well. Mm-hmm. So what you were under fear then?
Yes, yes. Is what I at the end was like fearful, you know, like not enough, conscious, you know, I'm doing it wrong. So I really went to, oh my gosh, you know, like bad, you know, like feeling fearful.
Excellent. All right, so thank you.
You're
Candace.
welcome.
Yes. I started writing words before I looked at the column, and I wrote the word that my health feels excellent. And then the places that hurt are getting the attention they need. I am resilient and releasing. My perspective is of long life and wholeness. I am decisive. So I go back and look at the words I wrote, the places that hurt. Well, hurt is somewhere over here under grief. And that actually is true. Had some passing of a friend this week, and then I just found out Muhammad Ali passed away, and he's somebody that I paid attention to and thought well of. And so I look at the words. The word resilient, though, is over here under courageousness, and so is, and the other words that came up for me, perspective, wholeness, and decisiveness, also under courage, courageousness. So I'm grateful for that spot, and I see there's certainly more work to be done. And as I was going up the courageousness column, I just kept releasing and releasing. So I'm allowing the room for more as we go along.
Excellent. Arne.
Let's see if you can hear me now. Can you hear me?
Excellent, yeah.
I did. Can you hear me?
Yes.
That's better?
Yes.
Good. Well, I don't have the book in front of me, so I did the best I could here. My feeling on my health, well, I have three experiences. One is I feel like my belly is too fat. The other one is I have an ear infection, and the third one is I feel really good about my body. When I'm looking at it and sitting here, I feel like, wow, it feels like like I felt when I was 20. So then I'm looking at the fat belly. I think it comes from me wanting security, partly from eating. I'm not eating a lot, but too much. I think it's, or maybe it's not even eating too much. I'm trying to be secure by having that. And my ear infection is possibly wanting to hear need of approval. It's
We just lost your transmission. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I'm back. Yeah, so my last one is I'm feeling really good about my body, but I feel like I have a need of control in that it should feel that way. So I'm kind of still clamping onto it and not letting it just flow. Okay.
All right, excellent. Yeah, you jumped ahead to a couple of things, getting into the are these needing security approval or safety? What is it? Security approval. I forget the three columns now. Isn't that funny?
Control, security, and approval.
There he goes. I was out of control on that. That's why I couldn't remember.
Controls.
I wrote down that what's my now feeling? It's generally excellent except for prolonged SI joint pain, sacroiliac joint pain, low back pain. And when I was going through, I literally ran through and got up to annoyed under anger. And man, that rang my bell big time. And I am angry about this damn pain, It I've been a distance runner all my life. I mean, I could get up and go run 10 miles at the drop of a hat. And this pain has interrupted my life to the point where there are some days that I can't walk 100 feet without being bent over in pain. And it's really a major disturbance. And I've tried all kinds of stuff. I mean, we're trying medication, try muscle relaxants, try physical therapy, chiropractic, energy healing, and nothing has changed the pattern, nothing at all. And so I'm kind of excited to actually do this, and it's true. When I look back, when I read this little description of what we're doing to ourselves when we have pain in any part of our body, is we are sending it negative energy. I'm angry at it. That's not a positive energy. It's higher up. At least I'm not apathetic and saying, oh, screw it. I'm just going to be in pain for the rest of my life. There's nothing I can do. I know there's something I can do. I'm frustrated because I just don't know what the hell to do. And now I've got to focus. I've got a way which I really think is a key to understanding how to put together. And this is such a powerful book in so many ways, because it's just how many of us on the call, have been aware of intellectually the fact that we should be able to control and change every aspect of our life at will, and yet the ability to do that is elusive, and that's what builds the frustration. At times you just throw up your hands and say, all this metaphysical crap is just that. It's crap. It's just another way to make you feel inadequate and get even more frustrated and pissed off at yourself that you're not as good as you think you should be. So there's a really counterproductive energy to put in yourself, isn't it? But now that I'm released from this need to beat up myself, I can laugh at that and start to really get at the heart. Let go of the pride. Let go of the ego. Let go of all of those intellectual trappings and entrapments that prevent us from ever really making the connections that desperately need to be made in our own progress up the chart. So I'm excited about what we're going to do from here on forward with this. We still have some time here, so what is my now feeling about my physical health? So let's click off and write that up and go back through our chart on 42 and 43 and find out where we are related to my physical health. I love the way he puts this book together, because how many of us experience that there's a major shift in focus between the first column and the second column. It was amazing to me, even though they both seem to be asking the same question. Isn't that interesting? All right, who's got some insight for us?
Beautiful. Well, I'm going here first again. What is my now feeling about my physical health? Well, I sensed the hope, the joy, you know, of before. And I went to the chart and I catch myself under courageousness. And that is really in the middle between needing approval and needing control. That is amazing. I mean, every time that I put my head down and I explore, it's, you know, pretty much this need of approval or need of control. So I just open the window again, you know, and let that, it's like, can I let that go? And do I want to let that go? And it's so like, thank you, you know, like, thank you, thank you, thank you. So that's my exploration right here.
Thank you.
Letting go of this need of approval and control. Mm-hmm.
Yes, Miss Kim.
I came up again with, again, working with feeling like my health is really good, that just the simple act of nourishing myself, and I'm coming to a greater understanding of how our needs change, that sometimes when you're super hungry, I tend to gobble the food fast, and that ability to regulate my life so I'm not in that extreme of hunger much of the time. Sometimes you don't get back from a hike or something and you're pretty hungry when you get back, but nourishing myself on more levels. I think that's what I'm wanting to say, is that while I'm eating, am I in a good frame of mind? Am I comfortable in my chair? Are all these other parts aligning with the enjoyment of that food so that I can be present with my meal, and or my conversation with someone else, or my moment, so that I'm nourishing myself in as many ways as possible as I walk through life to support that health, to support that well-being. And that was the key word that I wrote, was supporting myself in maintaining my health. And that comes up under courageousness again. So that seems to be my column for the moment. And also the thought of being flexible to meet my needs, flexible to really answer the different calls of my body, like being thirsty, go get a drink. Don't wait 5 minutes, just pick up and go get a drink. Easy, it seems, and yet there's some discipline involved. And I see that all of these at different points hit every one of them. They hit approval. You know, if I'm in good shape and healthy, I have the approval of my friends that I am doing things with. And it's not so much that kind of approval as approval of myself for having done a good job taking care of myself. Control, wanting to control both what goes into my mouth and my ears and my eyes and my mind and my heart, and safety and security, of course, is related to eating and food and nourishment. So just releasing. It's interesting to release on these things we think we really need. Gosh, I think I need to stay alive. Oh, well, anyway, that safety and security question is still has some open doors to be answered for me.
Awesome.
So maybe you can create life. Yeah, as a woman, I guess you can, but otherwise, I really liked what you said there, Candice. We think we have to create life when we are life. It created us already, so I like that. Well, I think I say something here also. I don't have the book, and I think that some people listening in, they don't have the book either. So go get the book, because the book is making it so much more profound. But a little bit with what I got is feeling, I usually feel good about myself. I feel like maybe I worry that I'm numb, but I feel like I'm pretty much in the. I have the earache that I have now, eardrum, whatever. So that's a little worry of security. But mainly, I'm being pushed back to happy-go-lucky kind of life. And from my point of view, people ask me how you do. I'm great. I feel it. Or I see it. Like last night, I had a really interesting experience. I couldn't sleep all night, and it's early morning here. So supposedly I'm supposed to be tired now. But when I was sitting there in the night, and I felt, oh my God, I need to sleep. I need to sleep. And then I let it go. I just let it go, and I became really fresh and alive, like I slept all night. so I wasn't holding back to that, holding on to my concept. I let it go, and I just relaxed into a really nice meditation, and I feel very refreshed. I don't know if that fits in here, but what came out.
Well, it's fine. It is a stream of consciousness, and we've learned how effective that is allowing stream of consciousness without judging it as we're saying it. And so that was well done. One thing that I keyed in on this now, and the reason that they put now in bold print and capitals, is because if I answered this question, what is my now feeling about my physical health, an hour ago, my answer would have been totally different than what my answer is in the now, right this minute, after doing column 1. How powerful was that there was an absolute shift in consciousness that occurred having done the first column. So my now feeling about physical health is hopeful that I will release this pain permanently and be back to optimal health. Because I've always seen myself from the time I was a kid. I was always aware that I had a beautiful, healthy body, that I've been very fortunate, that I'm not focused on disease. I don't have diseases. I have a state of very excellent health virtually continuously, with very few specific times when I was sick. And again, it was all stress related. You look back over it, hindsight's always 20/20. So what I came out of it this time, the word in the chart of imperturbability was eager. I'm now eager to get rid of this. And isn't that fun? That came up under, let's see, eager is under courageousness. It's about halfway up. And I have to just do a little quick aside. It's it hit me quickly as I was going through from the bottom of courageousness, which starts with zest. The third word up is visionary. And now we all think of that as a really positive way to be. What happened here? Oh, okay. Can everybody still hear me? Okay, yeah, we lost Arne, and then my screen changed too. All right, we're good. And
yeah, he's coming back.
Okay, again, this is probably approval or pride or whatever, but I view myself as a visionary. I'm viewed by many people as a visionary, and I thought that was pretty lofty. But it's actually at the very bottom of the courageousness chart. there goes my wanting approval curve. Pure slam dunk. That was just too funny for me. But I went on up, and and found eager, and that really that ticked my box. That gave me the buzz. So I'm eager under courageousness, and this is going back to approval, control, and security. It would fall under the security thing. I love the security of knowing and experiencing and manifesting a continually healthy body. So, you know, that's it. We're kind of out of time here for today, and that's good because, you know, I'm glad that we didn't rush through the attachment and aversion part of this, because we've experienced how positive taking the time and actually doing that exercise has been for us the last 3 weeks. So why don't we pick up, we can just finish for this week, answer for ourselves on the what is the now feeling about exercise. And again, my answer is changed dramatically from what it would have been an hour ago by virtue of the experience and consciousness I gained from the first 2 columns. So I'm going to do that chart on my own today and finish that out. And then next week we'll pick up with getting our feedback on column 3 and then moving into doing the attachment and aversion to health exercise. How does that sit with the panel?
Wonderful. I love it. And one thing that I wanted to highlight here, and I love your expression of that, you know, your answer right now is different than 1 hour ago or 5 minutes ago, that when you do the thing, you know. But again, notice that the column after what we ask here is let go. It's all about letting go everything, you know, the need of approval or the hope or the joy, everything. It's like not at that, being this open window, you know, like suddenly it's free. So I just love that we can discover all of that, and like I'm really much like you, Dr. Fran, in the sense of appreciating the way that this book is unfolding, bringing us, you know, like focus on different topics that really limit us, you know, and stress us and all that stuff. So I'm very grateful for that. And one thing that I would like to say before we close here is that the example that we had in the beginning about this person, that the son, you know, getting crisis, mental illness and all that stuff, and the ability to don't believe it. So to me, it's like, wow, you know, like the ability to don't believe it, because the truth, capital letter, is that does not exist, is an illusion. So to really, to use that, to use the belief system, many of us, we believe that, but to check what it is that makes me feel so I can let that go, you know, let it go, let it go, let it go. I have a very dear, dear, dear friend that she's going through a cancer stage 4, like really, really bad, and you know, for whatever reason, I'm giving her a lot of sessions, because maybe sometimes it's easier if you have a hand of someone that helps you to do the exercises or to focus, you know, whatever. But what I want to share here is that from, you know, like being devastated and oh my God and to here, to practice to feel the gratitude for the situation, because at the end, this situation is bringing her to consciousness. You know, it's like the body needs your attention, and if you don't give it because you're unconscious, well, maybe you get pain, so then you are in your body. And then from there on, the journey, you know, of releasing start, you know, are you willing to change your thoughts? And it's funny because every time that she is going through chemo right now, and you know, she has days where she feels really down, and we always go, you know, thanks to this, the coaching that I do, but you know, to go to to be released, you know, what a kind of thought, you know, right now, you know, about your situation, and of course afraid, you know, like guilty, whatever, and we really went through places where she could release, you know, like woof, like incredible in a moment, you know, just open the window, you know, and let it go. And just she came from the hospital right now telling her that she needs less doses of chemo. She's responding wonderfully. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, it's like, and you know, we let go the fear of dying. We really face it, you know. We said, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen here, you know? And she's so beautiful. So don't believe the illness to begin with. It is huge. It is a huge opening. Let go of that belief, you know, because I see it, I feel it. It's here. I saw the X-ray. You know, the doctor told me this and this. And can you let go of all of that? And this for me is a miracle, you know, of life, to let go of everything, to be this open window, this blue sky. Yes, clouds come and go, don't grasp it, you know, let it go. I wanted to share that because I feel very proud of my friend, you know, what we are learning together here, and with all of you guys, you know, because we are real, so we go through that. So thank you so much for listening to that. It was beautiful for me, the experience. And with this, I think we are, yes, Dr. Fran?
No, it's fine. I just love that story, and you know, your friend was impinging on my consciousness throughout the entirety of this chapter. So I think it's wonderful that you've had the courage and the ability to bring her to an awareness of this. And you know, this whole idea of not going into agreement with diagnosis and prognosis is extremely powerful as related to your own body health. And you know, we get what we focus on, and unfortunately far too many people take the spoken word of their doctor as the gospel and immediately focus on the fact that they're dying and they might as well just give up, and they become a self-fulfilling prophecy in that regard. So yep, miracles happen. And you're maybe
but you know, the thing that amazed me is that she has, before all these diagnoses, whatever, she has this trembling syndrome or whatever you want to call it, but physically you can see it, that affected her vocal cords. I don't think it's Parkinson yet, but I mean, whatever. I don't want to label it, you know, like something crystallized right there. But it's true, you know, and with the chemo, she lost the voice, she, you know, like everything came like very, very more evident, let's say. So yesterday I gave her a session, and it's funny because in the beginning of the session she could not talk. Come inside, open the window, blah, 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 loving presence, or what I love, capital letters, you know, the rest. And at the end of the session, this woman could speak and not trembling. And to me, it's like how sensitive our physicality is to our thinking, to our emotional frequency, to our moment, to our now moment. You know, if we don't hold any memory, any thought or whatever, I mean, the transformation happens right there, you know. So it was we were both of us at the end with tears. It's like, oh my gosh, you know, like, thank you. And, you know, she's learned, I mean, doesn't matter if she dies or doesn't, but it's not the fear of dying. It's the passion of growing, of awakening through the process, you know, because who you are truly, you know. So every disease or every situation, I'm thinking about Paul, Dr. Fran, you know, and to really sensing in my heart, you know, that nothing is happening by accident. Everything is happening for our highest good. If we can relax and trust in that the spirit of Paul is working in it, you know, to really help him to discover something new, to value something. I don't really know, but my frequency to Paul, to, you know, the ones that we are going, you know, through difficult moments, physically talking, you know, is to surrender, to allow the life force, you know, to take us over. So I surround Paul with love, you know, and ease and trust. You know, what a beautiful words, you know, to allow your experience to be, because every experience contains the goodness for your awakening. Everyone, doesn't matter how it looks. That's my belief. So, well, with this, I wanted to close, you know, the reunion today, to wish you a wonderful release week, more awareness, more windows open, more transparency, more who we truly are. And we get together next Saturday and we continue. I love the idea of continue. What is my now feeling about the exercise? Okay, so let's see what we can wake up here and continue with the attachment and aversion of health. So thank you everyone for being so beautifully present and engaging here with us. And with this, I say goodbye. Do you want to say something else, Doc Fran? Technical, okay, is that if you want to be to email arne@unlimitednetwork.com. And if you want to review these videos or send to a friend, you know, that you see could be benefited from it, you send them to unlimitednetwork.com/mastermind, and the recording is right there. So thank you, everyone, and see you next week. I love you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
That's great again. Thank you, Dr. Fran. Thanks, Candice and
Bye.
Monica. Bye.
Thank you.